Good afternoon. We must look at the system that we have to help feed and provide for the poor. My name is Jeffrey Hartmeyer, and with the state of our economy, we need to look at reform for the social welfare program. The New Deal was written in 1933 to 1936 time frame. And with that, it was at the end of the Great Depression, and what it was for was social economic programs to help those that were less fortunate. One of those programs was the aid to dependent children. We know it as welfare. It was a system that was made up for single women with children that couldn't provide for them. Now the funds that were given to them were funds to support the children, not to support the family as a whole unit, but it was funds for those children to provide for them. With that program set up like that, it was based off of single women. There became a lot of problems with people not marrying or divorcing so that they could get it. So they restructured the whole system and they renamed it Aid to Families with Dependent Children, therefore qualifying male individuals that were head of household that were unable to provide due to disabilities or that. When this system was set up, we're going to go through some numbers here also. When it was set up in the 30s, it was set up off of 1.2% of our gross domestic product. Now that's our first number we're going to look at. That was the basis of it, and the main purpose was, like I said, was just to provide the necessities for the children, not to provide a lifestyle. But as time went on through the 30s into the 60s, people started to find out that you could take this system because it was based off the children, and by adding more children, you could add a higher income. So what ended up happening is it started to grow. The growth was astronomical between the 60s and 70s. Now these are all statistics coming straight from the federal government. I went to the Heritage Foundation and they pulled and compiled a lot of the statistics for me to make it easier, but it's all straight from the federal government. All right? Now, the system was originally based off, remember, just providing for the children. Well, now it has grown to over 79 different programs within the federal government. We're no longer providing just for the needs of the children, but we're providing for them rent, utilities, cell phones. We're providing training, daycare, 79 programs within the federal government funded for individuals that are on lower income. Now most of those individuals, the makeup of it, the vast majority is teen mothers with no spouse. They're having children. Teens are on the highest rise, where they're going to getting pregnant, having children, and getting on welfare. They're never looking at a job. That's where we need to have restructuring done in there. There's been several attempts to restructure it, but what had happened was it didn't get people off welfare, it got them into other programs. Because the New Deal set up several social economic programs, people now transferred from getting welfare to now getting Social Security because they became qualified for it, so they removed from the welfare program and they became Social Security program personnel. We need to take this program and have it where it supports itself, not outside support. If you're on it and you're not able to get a job to remove yourself from the system, then you need to become part of the working organism that that welfare program is. They have daycare providers. You qualify for that. They do a background check on you. They do training for you. You provide daycare for other mothers so that they can get jobs. We're not therefore providing an outside source. Now people that are in part of the system are providing that service. We have Section 8 housing. We take people that are able to do housing repairs and maintenance and all that, and they now provide it instead of an outside entity. We need to change it so that we're not making it a cash cow, but we're now making it self-sufficient. In 2011, $717 billion was spent on welfare. That is the second largest program in the United States federal government. The only thing greater than that is education. There's more money spent on the welfare system because when you add in the states and local portion of it also, it's over $1.1 trillion. It's greater than the defense budget. At 7.3 of gross domestic product, up from 1.2. The President has signed a law into act where by 2022, $1.56 trillion federal dollars will go to support welfare. This system's growing so large we can't sustain it. It will be the largest government program that we have. We can't fund that because those individuals that are in it aren't producing anything to support that system. Therefore, we need reform so they no longer are just a person that is receiving from it, but they're now a person that's helping that process. That's why we need reform. And number two, we need reform for that because you know what? An individual that is on welfare is more likely to be depressed. They're more likely to be obese. Chemical dependency and suicide are greater for individuals that are on welfare than any other person in the United States of America. And that comes from the Center of Disease Control, the CDC, put those statistics out. That's why we need reform. Not to take away the benefits that we're giving to needy people, but so that they can become a productive person and realize that the original plan back in the New Deal was a hand up, not a handout. Thank you.